Welcome back to the podcast. You guys, this week I am super excited to share with you something that I didn't think was just wasn't something obvious that I should share with you, but I was asked a question over in our Fuel Mastermind during one of our Zoom calls, and it triggered a thought to me. I bet all of my listeners would love to learn how to find the gold in Facebook groups. So I have four different ideas for you. Hello, my creative friend. Welcome to Creatives on Fire. Are you oh so tired of the constant struggle to keep up on social media? Do you wish you had more time freedom to actually be creative? Well, listen, I'm Melanie Ferguson, a creative business coach and multi six figure online creative business owner who's made so many mistakes growing my blog and social media to hundreds of thousands of followers, only to look up and have very little to show for it. Once I put my head down and added a few key systems and strategies, everything changed for me. In this podcast, I'll be sharing my proven systems and shortcuts, turning those followers into paying customers. So if you're ready, let's take your online business to the next level and leave all the overwhelm behind. I just wanted to add this little brief update because between the time that I recorded this podcast for you guys last week and now when you are actually being able to hear it, Facebook announced something new with Facebook groups, which is that they will no longer allow third-party apps. So what that means is basically you will not be able to stream to a Facebook group with a third-party app, nor will you be able to schedule uh, posts with a third party app into groups. So, if you want to take these ideas, which are still amazing and useful and really golden Facebook group ideas, you need to make sure that you know that you'll have to schedule any posts through the native Facebook app for groups. And you might want to consider having maybe a VA like to help you with the groups and to actually facilitate some of these ideas. But all that being said, this is still a really, really good episode. And that is why I didn't re record something different. I still want you to hear this. So tune in. Hey, Melanie Ferguson here. I have created a content planner for creatives that's unique to content creators. It's a 52-week planning guide and calendar designed to help you manage your time, help you stay organized, consistent, and really just know what to do and when. From planning your content to making sure you're on track every single week, this planner allows you to focus on what matters most for your business. So, if you're looking for a way to keep all of your things organized, be able to be ahead of the game, and know exactly what to do and when, check it out at creativesonfirepodcast.com/planner. That's creativesonfirepodcast.com/planner. All right. So this may not be exactly what you're thinking it is. It is not all about how to start your own Facebook group, but it is about how to get the most out of other people's Facebook groups. So I know that when you are creating a video for social media, you really need for it to take off. You really need, I mean, you're paid by the views. So whether it's a reel or a 3-minute video or even a YouTube video, it's really important that you promote that video and get as many views as possible. And one most common overlooked place to do that is Facebook groups. So what I would recommend is you get in several Facebook groups that are niche to your niche, like are specific to your niche, so that you can drop those videos as they are published. And just make sure that you're following the rules of the group. You don't want to get in trouble if it doesn't allow links. Maybe don't join that group, but make sure that you are in a group that is a good fit for your content. And then don't spam the group. Just simply drop the piece of content when you need extra eyeballs on the content. So don't worry about writing all of the notes down from this episode. I am going to provide you guys with a resource list of all the groups that I'm kind of talking about so that you can go check them all out. All right. But yes, so a niche group for your content videos. The second type of group that I think could be amazing is if you're looking to add new content to your blog that maybe you don't have the time to create. So, a long time ago, I would say maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I, on a whim, landed in a group where they create content for bloggers. And there were recipes. And I always said I was never going to add recipes to my blog. Well, lo and behold, I bought some recipes. And basically, you buy the content, they provide you with all the images and the actual recipe. And then you go and make it your own on your blog. Well, I have done this over the years and slowly but surely added several recipes. In fact, it's actually a menu drop down item and a category over on my blog now is recipes. But some of them I do myself, and some of them I have a little help from my friends, right? And I just want to encourage you to not discount this, all right? Because they actually sell not only recipes, but printables and craft projects and roundups and graphics, everything you need for your blog if you're in a pinch or you want to add that extra published content once a week. So maybe you only have time to publish one thing a week. This could add a second thing that you don't have to put as much time into. Or if you have two posts a week, maybe this could add that third and just give you that extra push, that extra piece of content. So here are some things to keep in mind. Definitely try. I made this mistake at the beginning. I would buy a bunch of content and then I would be behind and I would feel like I could never get around to using it, but I paid for it and I have to use it and now the season's over. So I would recommend if you're going to buy a piece of content, publish it that week. Work on it, make it yours and publish it that week. And that way you don't ever get behind and you're not just covered up with extra things, right? You don't want we're trying to avoid overwhelm here. Now, the second thing I want to tell you about purchasing content is a lot of people will say, oh, you shouldn't. Oh, Google's going to be upset. Not, my friend, if you tweak it. So, on the images, if you want to zoom in a little more on the image they give you, or you want to tweak it a little more, you're going to create your very own pen. It's going to look different from anybody else's. Some of it's called PLR, which is content that anybody can buy. And there's probably thousands of bloggers who have purchased it. And then there's semi-exclusive content where you basically are one of 4 or 5 bloggers who are going to have access to those images, but all of the final images are a little bit different. And then there's what's called exclusive content, and that's priced even a little higher. And that is where the creative actually makes content just for you. Um, and that is usually up 100, 200, $300. The semi-exclusive content can be anywhere from 25 to 45 to $60. And the PLR content is super popular because it's usually around 10 to $12. So I don't want you to say, I don't want to do content like this because one of my pieces of content, one of my very first recipes that I published, which is what got me hooked over on the blog, went viral. And what I mean by that is over the last 2 to 3 years, it has drawn 151,000 page views. Yes, 151,000 page views, my friend. And so if you are looking for content again to add to your weekly structure, that is a good place to go. And I'm going to drop again in the resource list a few places that I go to that offer this kind of content. Okay, so I have some friends that are in this third type of groups. They actually have their own of these, and it's these deal groups or shopping groups where you can go in and get daily deals. They're actually more often than daily, usually, they're hourly or every few hours. And
you could start one of these for yourself and you could share your affiliate links. You could do Amazon, you could do LTK, you could do your own products, sprinkle those in. But however you want to structure it, these can be really lucrative. And I also would recommend, if you do want to go and try any of these types of groups, go check and see what other people are doing, because it's going to really help you shortcut um, kind of some of your most frequently asked questions. And I like to see sometimes, what did somebody else think was a deal? Maybe I want to promote that in my stories or something of that nature. So, deal groups, shopping groups, those are a third option. Now, the fourth type of group is your very own, and these are going to be groups that you create on Facebook that are specific to your niche or to a niche. And I've tried this over the years with mixed reviews, but I know that one group of mine has remained completely strong. It's self, whatever you want to call it. It runs its own self, and it is called Buffalo Check Obsessed. I will drop the link in the list of resources, but it has grown to 12,000 followers, you guys, and that's a lot. I know that for some people, they're like, meh, you know, but I'm going to tell you, it only takes a handful of really diehard people to make good money. Okay. And this Buffalo Check Obsessed group with 12,000 diehard Buffalo Check obsessed people get served up not only my blog content that has anything to do with Buffalo Check. If there's even a Buffalo Check item in the background or a tablecloth or something, that's going to go over in that group. And they click through, they give me page views every single month on that content. I also sprinkle in Amazon and LTK affiliate products. So I know that one of the best sellers that I have in that group is these corny little Buffalo Check chair covers that are on Amazon. And I'm telling you what, every time those post, which I have all of it on autopilot, but when those post, everyone always comments on them, and I see sales go up through the roof on those. So just think about your specific niche or something that you could make into a niche. It doesn't even have to be related to your blog. That is the beauty of it. And create a group that you can push content to on the regular. All right. I've also done this for stencils, uh, and just shared all of the brands of stencils that I share in there. And every once in a while, I'll do a live stencil in there, but it's not a lot of maintenance. It's not. A lot of these groups, the people will take over and they will start their conversations over there and keep the ball rolling for you. But definitely you want to do your homework before you start one of these, and you want to see if others have started one similar. And that's the key. You would think the opposite. You would think, oh my goodness, nobody has come up with this underwater basket weaving group. I am going to do it and it's going to be amazing. No, there's a reason there's no groups like that. So before I started my Buffalo Check group, I put the words Buffalo Check into the Facebook search bar and pulled up all of the current groups. And there were a handful. There weren't a whole lot. But what I noticed was they would have like 50,000 people, 30,000 people. So I knew that it was a viable group idea, and before I started my own. So just something to kind of put in your back pocket and think about. So, my friend, I hope that this is helpful. I know that the list of resources is going to be super helpful. If any of these resonate with you, be sure to leave a comment over on the blog. And I always covet your reviews over on Apple. So if you do get a minute this week, please go over there and just you go to the main podcast page and you'll scroll down through the first few episodes, and at the very bottom you'll see the stars. And if you'll give it a 5-star review and put a couple of sweet words in there for me, I will shout you out, and I super duper appreciate it. All right, my friend, until next time, stay creative.
Thank you so much, my friend, for tuning in each and every week. If you learned something new or were inspired from today's episode, I would be incredibly grateful if you would take a minute and just leave a review. Bonus points if you share this episode by screenshotting it and tagging me on social at Creatives on Fire Podcast. I'll share you in my stories when you do. In the meantime, keep rocking your business, and I'll meet you back here next Tuesday. And don't forget, no one else will ever be you, and that is your creative superpower.